Guys, welcome to my channel, Knowledge. Knowledge doesn't have boundaries. My college project was satellite technology, so I wanted to remember it and I want everyone to know satellite technology in a more interesting way. Satellite technology. A satellite refers to any body that move around another one in a mathematically predictable path called an orbit. There are many different types of satellites orbiting the Earth overheads. Some are used for television, others for telecommunications, and some satellites are top secret and few people know what they are used for. In India, the Indian Space Research Organisation (ISRO) is responsible for research, development and operations of space systems in the areas of satellite communication, remote sensing for resources, environmental monitoring, etc. Types of satellites. Some types of satellites included are: first, communication satellite; second, scientific, research satellites; third, observation satellites; fourth, weather satellites; fifth, navigation satellites; sixth, radio satellites. In detail. First, communication satellite. It includes television, phones, the internet, beepers, etc. One of the best known uses of communication satellites is for the transmission of radio television. Second, scientific research satellites. These satellites gather data for scientific analysis. These include observations of the atmosphere of our planet, the stars, the sun, and other parts of space. Third, observation satellites. Observation satellites help to observe many features of the Earth's surface. Satellites are also used in the field of surveillance. Fourth, weather satellites. Weather satellites are one of the most important instrumentation used to predict the weather. Weather satellites photograph the Earth regularly in visible and infrared light, and they provide data to weather stations on Earth. Fifth, navigation satellites. Navigation satellites allow the operators of land vehicles, ships and aircraft to determine their locations within 100 feet anywhere on Earth. These vehicles all have on board a computerized receiver which can pick up radio signals from satellite miles in space. Sixth, radio satellites. Radio button transmissions are also conducted through satellite facilities. Amateur radio operators, or hams, have built several orbital satellites carrying amateur radios, Oscars, that take advantage of leftover payload space on other missions to get a free ride into orbit. Satellites have a variety of uses including reconnaissance, early warning, signals intelligence, and potentially weapon delivery. Satellites provide information about Earth's clouds, oceans, land and air. They also can observe wildfires, volcanoes and smoke. Satellites are brought into space by space shuttles. They are accelerated to the speeds needed to achieve orbit by large rockets. Once in space, the satellite is subjected to two main forces. First, centripetal force due to the Earth's gravitational pull. Second, centrifugal force, tending to drive the satellite velocity and orbit. Uses of satellite technology. 1. Navigation, location. Navigation satellites allow the operator of land vehicles, ships, and aircraft to determine their locations within 100 feet anywhere on Earth. These vehicles have on board a computerized receiver which can pick up radio signals from satellites miles in space. The signal receiver can be used in cars, cell phones, and other devices. Navigation satellite can indicate the nearest restaurant, business centers, railway stations, airports, etc. One may be in a position to locate roads with traffic jams, the nearest free parking space, and so on. To pinpoint your location accurately, your receiver needs to receive signals from at least 2 navigational satellites. The receiver signals from at least 2 navigational satellites and the receiver determines your distance from each of the satellites. This is possible by measuring the time taken by the signal to travel from the satellite to your receiver antenna. The more satellites used, the greater the positioning accuracy. 3 to 4 satellites are the minimum needed to determine positions on the surface of the Earth and above it. Many receivers have channels for receiving signals from up to 15 satellites. GPS. The United States Global Positioning System consists of up to 32 medium Earth orbit satellites in 6 different orbital planes, with exact number of satellites varying as older satellites are retired and replaced. Since 1978 and globally available. Since 1994, GPS is currently the world's most utilized satellite navigation system. Gaggan. The GPS-aided geo-augmented navigation is a planned implementation of a regional satellite-based augmentation system by the Indian government. It is a system to improve the accuracy of global navigation satellite system receivers by providing reference signals. 2. Prediction of weather. Weather satellites are one of the most important instrumentation used to predict the weather. Environmental satellites to observe the Earth from space is one of the key tools in forecasting weather, analyzing climate, and monitoring hazards worldwide. This 24-hour global coverage provides us with a never-ending stream of information critical for making decisions affecting everything from what you are going to wear today to governments making decisions about how to deal with climate change. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, in collaboration with the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and the U.S. Air Force, manage and operates fleets of weather and environmental monitoring satellites. There are 2 main types of environmental satellites: geostationary and polar, orbiting. Meteorologist is a specialist who studies processes in the Earth's atmosphere that cause weather conditions. Meteorologists generally use 2 types of satellites. First, geostationary operational environmental satellites. Second, polar operational environmental satellites, and other satellites of NOAA. Geostationary operational environmental satellites GOES orbit 35,800 kilometers above the Earth's equator at speeds equal to Earth's rotation, which maintain their positions relative to Earth. The GOES provide constant monitoring of various areas of the planet. Polar operational environmental satellites POES help to predict weather conditions. POES satellites orbit longitudinally from pole to pole. They have sun-synchronous orbit, which allows them to scan the entire Earth's surface in 14 orbits over a day's time, 24-hour. Other satellites of NOAA. A Defense Meteorological Satellite Program. Since the mid-1960s, when the Department of Defense initiated the Defense Meteorological Satellite Program. Low Earth orbiting satellites have provided the military with important environmental information. B. Ocean Surface Topography Mission. OSTM, JASON-2. One aspect of climate change is sea level rise, which affects much of the world's population that lives in coastal areas. Satellite altimetry data provides sea surface height for determining ocean circulation, climate change and sea level rise. 3. Communications. The satellites are also used for the purpose of communications in respect of television, phones, the internet, beepers, etc. 4. Scientific research. These satellites gather data for scientific analysis. This includes observations of the atmosphere of our planet, the stars, the sun and other parts of space. Observation of Earth's surface. Scientists use Earth observation satellites to locate mineral deposits to determine the location and size of freshwater supplies and to detect the spread of disease in crops and forest. Uses of GPS. GPS boosts productivity across a number of sectors which include farming, construction, mining, surveying, package delivery, and logistical supply chain management. Major communications networks, banking systems, financial markets, and power grids depend heavily on GPS for precise time synchronization. Some wireless services cannot operate without it. Some of the uses are as follows. 1. Business logistics. The most basic use of GPS vehicle tracking software is to keep a record of your vehicle's location on the map. FedExpress also uses GPS to enable customers to track the position of the parcels during transit. 2. Farming. GPS technology also provides tractor guidance and allows farmers to operate tractors and equipment in low visibility situations. 3. Rescue and relief measures. GPS helps to reach victims at most affected places. Timely rescue measures help save a number of lives. 4. Lost pets. If they ever get lost, searching for the pet will become a lot easier. Personal emergencies. People can benefit from tracking services that include the ability to place emergency calls. 6. Prevention of car theft. By installing a tracking device on a vehicle, the location of it can always be known. 7. Hiking and camping. With a GPS device, hikers who get lost can be recovered quickly if they ever come up missing. 8. Police and private detectives. Police can benefit by attaching tracking devices to vehicles during investigations, allowing them easily track movement and come up with a solid evidence. 9. Mobiles and automobiles. The travelers can save a lot of time and effort in locating places or streets. 10. Other application. GPS devices can be used in several other cases such as geology and mining, weather forecasting, airplanes, surveying, etc. Benefit of satellite technology. Satellites play an essential role in our everyday lives. In fact, they contribute for us to meet many important needs and challenges on Earth. They are useful in many fields, such as navigation and science. My opinion on satellites technology. In the future there will be better facilities for people. Like better communications. Or they want to spy on someone. Or they can do that with better facilities. GPS can track vehicles who got theft and can be returned. And weather forecasting will be more accurate than before. Satellites can help scientists for their studies on geological, Earth's magnetic field, Sun, Earth surface mapping, missile launch detection and Earth atmospheric. In future or now, in everyone life, satellites play an essential role. There is great potential for such technology to help solve the problem in developing countries.